short hours ago. Jeff, how strong are the winds have been that you faced?
They're still pretty strong here, Rich. I don't know if you can hear them. You probably can on the microphone. It's roaring by still. They're not as strong as they were earlier. We had a wind gust here officially at the airport of 91 miles an hour. Here where I'm standing, I'd have to estimate at least 90 or 95. It's hard to tell. My wind anemometer, before it stopped working, recorded a gust up to 72, and that was about an hour or so ago. Let's show you some pictures from a little bit earlier when the rain was coming down a bit hard, and it was really blowing. This was about between 10 and about noon. Again, we had lots and lots of extremely heavy rain coming down at least at the rate of 1 inch an hour, but the problem was it was coming down sideways. Not very many people out on the roadways, just a couple emergency crews and some emergency personnel, and that's the good news. Hopefully everybody stayed indoors, as it was quite dangerous. Let's come back out here live now. I want to show you just a little bit of some minor flooding that we have behind me here. Also, you might be able to see some debris floating around in there, pieces of signs, pieces of the roof which is over us here. There is some minor damage. Haven't heard of anything major. Lots of trees down, and the power is out. Now let's go over to Mike Seidel. He's on Lake Pontchartrain. Mike?
Hey, Jeff, we've made it up to the top of the levee here. This is part of the levee system which protects the Big Easy, New Orleans, from flooding rainfall along Lake Pontchartrain, as the lake sometimes fills up and overflows. But so far, so good. We'll look out towards the lake, and it's still pretty choppy off in the distance. In the foreground, you can see the docks, and obviously they're still underwater. They've been underwater since early yesterday. As far as flooding, the worst has been this morning up in St. Tammany Parish. We can show you some pictures up around Slidell. This is on the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain, around the Slidell area. They've had upwards of 6 to 8 inches of rainfall there. It's been coming down very hard. They've also had several tornado warnings. Doppler radar indicated tornadoes. Last check, 40,000 customers without power in the Slidell, St. Tammany area, also in the Mandeville area. And another real problem is in Montague. That's down in Terrebonne Parish, where a levee has been breached and many people are stuck in their homes. These are people who refuse to evacuate. They got most of the 5,000 residents out of that area, but now they're trying to get in there and get people out where water has come in. This is part of the storm surge. Montague is down there in the marshy lowlands just off the Gulf Coast. Again, very strong winds here this afternoon. Don't let your guard down. There's debris down all across the city of New Orleans. And again, avoid that because of possible power lines. Just assume the power lines are live. And once again, some flights will try to get out of this airport during the mid and late afternoon hours, but some airlines have given up and have canceled all flights until tomorrow. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much. Mike Seidel and Jeff Morrow reporting live from the heart of the hurricane. As it continues to move onshore across Louisiana, we're very concerned about tornadoes. Tornado watches are in effect. And now the latest information tells us that the winds are down to 75 miles per hour right now. A minimal hurricane at this point. As it moves over land, of course, it is weakening. Movement north at 16 miles per hour. We still have hurricane warnings in effect. In addition to that, tropical storm warnings in effect just to the east of there. Where's it going? It will go through Louisiana into the Tennessee Valley by tonight and into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. We still have the tornado watches in effect, including Jackson and New Orleans, and a tornado warning in effect for Acadia Parish. Please seek shelter immediately there. I believe Crowley is the area of concern. Take a look at some of these rainfall amounts. It's been incredible already, up to 3.5, 5, 6.5 inches of rainfall. And yes, we have seen some very strong winds. New Iberia, 91 mile per hour wind gust reported there with the hurricane making landfall. We still have flood watches in effect. Keep that in mind. Everyone in Louisiana as well as Mississippi, where we have the green shading on this particular map, is where those flood watches are in effect. So we are monitoring the situation with hurricane.
Don't believe there'll be massive